Hello everyone, welcome to our halftime show where you can unwind a little bit as you enjoy your tacos and get ready for our next game. For this one, it is going to be Veterans Hot Take. So a little bit of a twist on a segment that we like to run here a lot, but since Veteran is our very valued guest, we're going to take some opinions from him, and Rafa, you are going to rate them on a scale of 0 to 5 peppers, and then say how you feel about them. Make sense? Easy breezy?
I'm listening attentively.
All right. And of course, since we're not all mean over here, Veteran will have the opportunity to, explain himself on the takes. So it'll be nice. It'll be fun. So to start things off, instead of going into the series, we're going to start it off with something a little bit more general. A champion that isn't played but should be is Nasus.
Facts, actually. So Nasus is a ridiculously strong. Yeah, go on. You first. Sorry.
We know you're saying.
I want to get into these. Rapper, go.
Base. No, just base. And like in specific situations, Nasus is like completely destroys certain champions. I remember when Kalista was still running around, and not many people were like taking the Nasus into it. It doesn't even matter if it's in the same lane. You get to mid game and you bring a Nasus to the party, Kalista hates her life. She never wants to play the game again.
So does based mean that this is like a 0-1 peppers from you, or?
Yeah. It's
a 1.
But it's not like I'm saying, oh, this is a bad hot take. I'm just saying, it's not a hot take, but it's a good take,
Yeah, no, that can exist. I mean, Veteran, you're excited to get into this. You have to stop yourself from talking.
Because it's right. In situations, Nasus is really good, but this split, those situations have been everywhere. Kayle and Azir were heavy priority at the start of this split, and Nasus is incredibly good into both. Kalista was incredibly strong at the start, and is still incredibly strong. Nasus is good into it, can be played bot with Senna, can be played bot in support in its own right. Nasus can be played in every laning position and counters so many of the champions there. Azir can't do anything into Nasus early on in the game, and once you get your first item, honestly, once you get CDR boosts, you can already start running down an Azir on your own terms if you're doing Yellow Tree. This was a very underrated champion. There are still so many good opportunities for it.
Well, if we see it start popping up, we know exactly who they were listening to for that. On to our next take. I asked Veteran who he thought was going to win Proving Grounds and said that the team that prioritizes farming junglers is going to win PG, Rafa. How many peppers for this one? Agree? Disagree?
I'm thinking of our favorite team that will Team Liquid Academy, and Armeo always places his team or his laners above himself, and so that's why commonly we see things like Trundle or Poppy out of Armeo. So I guess this is I wouldn't say this is extremely hot, but this is definitely 3 out of 5 peppers, because I think it's going to be hard to break the big tournament favorite in Team Liquid. But we have seen very strong teams like AoE Ginger Turmeric, who, with Keel, prioritizes farming junglers, like the Karthus, being a master of Lilia, the Fiddlesticks even earlier this week as well.
All right, we got 3 peppers on that one. And normally I'd give you time to state your piece on that one, but I know you want to get into this next hot take because we don't actually have too much time until champ select. So we're just gonna roll with we're gonna roll these fast. We're gonna rate these. I want to get into the last and final one. First off, Rafa, Yuumi is a lane bully.
I don't play bot lane, and I just always look at this cat being like, it's just a passenger. It doesn't affect the laning phase that much, but maybe I'm just not looking at the right Yuumi. So for me, I'll say it's a 4 out of 5. But explain why it's a lane bully, Veteran.
Yuumi is a champion for real men, alright? Because real men don't need to bust out the Draven to win the 2v2 lane and bot, alright? They bust out the Yuumi, alright? And think about what the champion does, right? Alright? You drag her out, right? You don't just have her in the whole time. Drag her out, and what can she do? She gets a shield that literally works until it's popped by enemy, until enemy actually wings it down. You can untag auto the enemy to death, get your passive up, auto for even longer, heal yourself, auto for even longer, and when you're on like 1-2 HP, just hop back into your 2v2 opponent, and they can still rely on their support in that 2v2. You have 2 health bars with this champion, and then some, and you still deliver sustain on top of that and towards your ally. You should play Yuumi to win 2v2. It is one of the easiest trading champions if you actually start trading with it. Don't just sit in your 2v2 laner, get out there, start hitting those guys, and then go back in when they think they might be able to kill you, and they can't anymore if they're going for your ADC with much lower HP.
My favorite thing right now is seeing Smax in the Discord. I will trash on everybody as the kitten. Absolutely. About Yuumi, that is for sure. All right, on to our last and final hot take before we hop into the game. Next game, not wanting to see City Witty on a ganking jungler.
I don't know if it's a hot take. I'm also a fan when City Witty is playing things like the Kayn, the Karthus. I think there's another big farming jungler he's been known for in the past. I know he was a big Rengar player and Kindred player beforehand. Yeah, so like, yeah, maybe a 2 out of 5 peppers.
We're about to rename this to based or tasteless at this point.
It's
do you
just that
agree?
Rafa
Do you not
has
agree?
exceptional taste in takes. That's the problem, right? You got Rafa to judge it, and he's just too smart. He can see it. He can, except for the Yuumi, but you know that's like a different level.
That's fine. I don't play the bot
Nobody's
lane role.
perfect. Nobody's perfect. I mean, this is one particular going into the next game, veteran, that you're particularly you opinionated about.
Yes, I mean, they got winning lane states because Civ is not really a lane bully after the last patch, like not because of the Yuumi.
Right.
But they had Xin Zhao with it, who then has to play front to back into Yuumi, who is much better in these early skirmishes, in these early gankings. Honestly, just have this guy on a farming jungler, and then I don't have to see a gank-oriented jungler not base for the first 6 minutes of the game where Lee Sin can match every 2v2. That's fine if this is a Karthus that's going to win your first team fight. But the moment these guys fell behind, because when City Witty's being on Nunu, when he's on any kind of ganking jungler, they don't accelerate games properly. They don't have any of that insurance. This team relies on insurance. Give him the farming jungler. Carry.
All right, call him up. Let's get out of here. Let Dakugimi know exactly what needs to happen for this next game, because this is elimination now on the line. Rafa, Beatdown, gonna send you off to Champ Select, and we'll catch up with you later.
Where is my brother and Cake? Oh, what's up, man? Welcome back.
What's up?
How are you doing? How was your break, man?
It was good. I ate some food. I was watching you guys talk about,
Let's go.
You know, hot takes. I'm kind of with veteran on a lot of those. You'll probably see my response in the Discord. Yuumi, lane bully, hater, get her out of the game. Anyways, how are you, Mark? How was the game show? Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. You know what? I love veterans takes. The Yuumi lane bully, obviously I wasn't familiar with, but I do know that making use of the bop and block passive is something that not many people, when they first play Yuumi, know is a thing and make use of, and it's how you can actually like sustain yourself in mana wise. But you know what, enough about Yuumi. I want to see 100 Thieves Academy put Busio on a champion that allows him to flex his muscles a little bit. You know, Camille support maybe, perhaps. You know, I know we're no longer in the upper bracket, so maybe the time to bust out something as flashy as Camille support has already passed. We need to, you know, for 100 Thieves, they have to make it at least to top 4 before we go down the line. But with an early Poppy opener, Poppy has been great in a lot of situations, but now with junglers like Olaf, who top laner, but can now be played in the jungle with the recent buffs, you got to be careful with those type of openers.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's, and immediately, like you said, the Olaf gets locked in right away. So we'll see whether or not, because I'm pretty sure Lawrence has also played that champion, but it could easily go into City Witty's pocket as well. And I think going over the rest of the picks too, we see the Lucian Nami this time for BMFX and Busio. So we are seeing Busio on a more, I will say, overtly high impact champion. You do have more playmaking tools with the Aqua Prison, with the Tidal Wave. And I like the response from Taco Gaming, as long as they lock in the Lulu, Yeah, there we go. I like that for two reasons, Mark. One, ever since Lucian Nami became popular, and I think it was like 2020 Worlds or something like, or maybe it was last Worlds, actually, in 2021, the response that came out pretty quickly to Lucian Nami was the Aphelios Lulu. You scale really well as Aphelios. Lulu can help you in lane, and of course, later on into the game, you can use that wild growth. A lot of shielding and healing comes through. Move speed wins. You know, Lulu's actually really strong. We're not really talking about that. But the other thing too, the second reason I like it is that you can also pair with the Olaf, whether it's City or Lawrence, full sprinting. That wild growth on the Olaf, who's already CC immune, I'm shaking.
Yeah, something. I'm going to talk about Wild Rift a little bit, but something that I've actually seen in Wild Rift used more than League of Legends is using Wild Growth as an engagement tool. Whenever you have someone like a Xin Zhao or an Olaf who can easily get themselves into the backline, boom, Humogify, and then that's an AoE knockup guaranteed on all of the squishy members in the backline for the squad. Now, Taco Gaming, with someone like Olaf who can run in there and a little bit of support from Lulu and a dedicated backliner in Aphelios, how do you round out this composition for Taco?
I think maybe more engage on your side. The thing is, Gnar is up and available, and that's something that Lawrence has played a lot, I think, in these past couple of tournaments. It's something Taco has put a lot of priority on. Oh, it's actually, never mind, it's out of the picture. Something engage. I talked about Sejuani in Game 1 draft, and I guess that's the route they are going to go for Lawrence in the top lane. Because one Fiora is out of the picture, and so is the Gwen, two champions who kind of smoke tanks. Real nice and easy. Also, the fact that even if you're not going to get a lot of attention, you're going to have a lot of impact in the game. That Glacial Prison is going to be such a big, impactful teamfight tool, trying to isolate people like BMFX. And no way, right?
You know, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen Tenacity bust out Mundo. In fact, if you remember last year during the summer, I think there was a time he played Mundo, and it was like, oh yeah, this was like my second time playing it ever. And,
I do remember
I had good times with that interview. But 100 Thieves rounding out their backline core with the Zir. So if there's ways that Taco Gaming do manage to get themselves onto the backline, you at least have the Emperor's Divide to put space between yourself and Lucian versus the rest of the team. And Tenacity finds that his counterpick of choice is that Aatrox. And already in Taco Gaming's stead, that's a relatively short-range composition that they got going for them. And that's great for Aatrox.
Absolutely, and that's the thing too. You're going to be able to play into Aatrox's effective range. I think most of the comp's effective range, realistically. You look at Azir, you look at Lucian, who is a bit more on the shorter range side when it comes to 80 carries. It means that they're okay going in here, and I think that's why you see that last pick, the Swain, for Shochi. It means that at that range, where it's like nice and close and personal, Swain thrives at that, and that's what they're playing for here. So Taco Gaming, it is more about the mid-range in terms of how they're going to be wanting to take these fights. And the thing that I think that is going to be tough for them, looking at 100 Thieves Academy's composition, they have a lot of displacement marks. You look at the Emperor's Divide, the Tidal Wave, the Keeper's Verdict, which is such a valuable ultimate when any sort of fight where you can knock people away from the entire situation. Sure. I think that there's a lot of tools Taco Gaming have to be very wary of, and I think more often than not, Taco will have to start fights on their terms, whether it's City getting an angle to run someone down, Lawrence getting the charge, getting the Glacial Prison on to be able to isolate a target.
The big thing for Taco Gaming this time around, as much to potentially veterans
dismay.
Dismay in the first game, maybe satisfaction in the second game. Depends on how you view Olaf. Olaf has the clear speed to ramp up versus a Poppy. But as we head on to the Rift for Game 2, the biggest question that we have for City Witty is how does he change up his game plan? Being on the Xin Zhao in Game 1 meant that he was pressured into trying to fight those 2v2s or those skirmishes as the Xin Zhao. Limited on engageability. This time as Olaf, yes, you can fight skirmishes, and you are very favored into Poppy specifically, but you also have the ability to completely just ramp through your camps and try and get a little bit more resources for yourself. Does Taco Gaming take that avenue?
That is something I do really like about the Olaf, even when he was a little less popular. Compared to a lot of other junglers, your first, not only is your first clear quite quick, but you are also very impactful. So you have that time versus other junglers, like you mentioned, Poppy, to be able to, it's not even just pick up resources, Mark. It's also pick up kills. You get an opportunity, maybe, especially if you go bottom to top, you gank Tenacity, who may be having a lot of pressure in this lane. That could be an opening play for City. The point is there are a lot of options here for the jungler of Taco Gaming.
Question for them is, how fast do they want to spring on the map? How early do they want to start leveraging plays? When you look at 100 Thieves Academy's bot lane, that is a point of contention where there's a lot of early pressure from the Lucian and Nami. They're going to be wanting to get into the faces of Gorka and Rovix, and this delayed invade, 4-man onto the red buff, knowing that Will is going to be starting on the top side of the map. City has a chance to take this red buff. How many more camps is he going to look to take?
That's the thing, no deep vision, so you don't know the exact pathing really coming through here. Especially, okay, so there was a ward actually placed by Shochi, so there you go. If the invade comes through from Will, if he tries to vertical jungle and take some camps back, that will give City the opportunity to go ahead and take everything. But, I mean, with how quickly, again, Olaf clears in these early levels, he's actually just going to take the 2 camps, walk away, and already an early lead for, again, jungler, where you are going to be outpacing Poppy early on.
And for City Witty, this is a great grasp from Shochi onto Jimian. Not the kill, but it's a early flash away. City Witty still has his ghost. Shochi has both summoner spells. I imagine an opportunity now for Taco Gaming. City Witty, once he clears out his topside camps, come back mid lane.
Exactly, and that's using the time that you have with a champion like Olaf, like we were talking about here. So nice usage of the champion strength there from City and Taco Gaming overall, and we'll see if that bears fruit, in a minute's time. As for Will on the flip side, you have some opportunity for a play, maybe bot, because you see a lot of aggressive trading is coming through for lane push, but the thing is, that lane is pushing away from Gorka and Rovix, and that could be your opportunity to make a gank of your own happen.
Yeah, they're going to have to overextend themselves in order to get into position to make sure the wave is not completely doomed for them against BMFX and Busio. You do not want to be frozen on this early in the game by a Lucian Nami lane, and Will is here to make sure that that punishment can be set in stone against Taco Gaming. But they spot him on the ward, as now Will is looking for an invade. He has priority, though, from Jimian to invade with him. And despite the 2 red side quadrants being locked out by City against Will, there's now an opportunity for Will to fight back.
I'm not sure I like the opportunity, and that's why I'm glad Will is backing off, because Gorka and Rovix have been pulled here. This isn't a skirmish you actually want early on as a 100 Thieves Academy, so they just back off. City will smite the buff away to ensure he gets it, and will hold on to his farm lead as a result here. So now that he's in the area, and now that Will are pathing away, Gorka and Rovix get that extra bit of pressure that I think they need to be able to ensure this wave gets pushed in.
Yeah, but look at the advantage that 100 Thieves get in response. It's a win for City Witty and being able to deny Will camps. The trade-off is that BMFX and Busio hold that lane state in its place, and Gorka and Rovix were pulled away from it, so now they're down on CS, they're down on experience, and they have to recall too. This is awful. City has to revert this.
City's here though. He's going to be able to do something. I think he was just spotted on the scuttler, so him just hanging out in the area, that pressure alone should be enough for Gorka and Rovix to be able to at least stay another wave here. But you're right, the pressure is on for the bot lane of Taco Gaming, and with how things went last game, I think this is definitely something that a performance they want to rectify. Gorka, again, being that player who's going to have a lot of impact in this game.
Yep.
And as a player who we usually know team fights very well. Going back to his time on Barrage, like you said, like we were talking about, when that 2-seed curse started, he was known as a really good team fighter here. On a champ like Aphelios, he does have the chance once more to show it to us.
And I think that's why 100 Thieves Academy, after game 1, are identifying where they want to leverage early game strength. This early Lucian Nami in the draft phase, targeting to make sure that they have the pressure to keep Gorka and Rovix behind. And while City Witty is falling ahead, BMFX and Busio get to start the show on their terms, and they pick up first blood.
Gorka disrespected. He had to flash the Aqua Prism, but wasn't able to get it. But Busio, I mean, City Witty can just go. This should be an easy kill for him.
And it looks like Busio doesn't have enough mana to actually kill Rovix. Good bait from the support of Taco Gaming. City Witty now coming in to rectify the odds. City Witty has enough attack speed to be able to lock down BMFX, but can he get in range?
He wants it?
City Witty is just trying to block and make sure that his support gets out alive, but a little too much in the fray means that Busio takes revenge for BMFX.
I mean, I thought we were happy for the 1v1 as Taco, but I mean, realistically, I guess they weren't. City ends up going losing his life. It does go over to the Nami. It's kind of whatever. But now, looking back on this play right here, with how low your health is, you're down a level, you have to flash that Aqua Prison. And again, the punishment comes through from BMFX and Busio. And even though City trades it, he loses his life in the process. So it's still a net negative, even though Busio gets the kill.
And so now we see where both 100 Thieves Academy and Taco Gaming are setting up their main characters for this early game. City Witty trying to make use of all the resources that he was able to counter jungle away from Will, and BMFX giving a lot of trust and resources in that early lane freeze that has now given him a little bit of gold advantage over Gorka. We'll see how 100 Thieves and Taco Gaming continue leveraging it.
Now, will be the first dragon also going over to Taco Gaming. I mean, even with the changes being Olaf, it's going to be pretty easy for City to be able to solo that one here. And having it much earlier than the last game means that Dragon Soul is a potential win condition here for Taco Gaming, especially with how Gorka has that Aphelios, who's going to be a formidable team fighter as time goes on. And the fact that he's caught up a little bit in CS, being not too far behind BMFX anymore, does mean that you can still continue to play towards the top side of the map. And Shochi, who we know looks for these roam timers, now that he's level 6 and has the demonic ascension, can start to look to play on that side of the map after everything gets set up for Rift Herald.
And Beatdown, I want to bring your attention to something that Taco Gaming are making a conscious decision of. They know that this lane state from BMFX and Busio is way too difficult for Gorka and Rovix to survive, and so they are being pulled towards the top side of the map. This will give them first glance to maybe look at Rift Herald in response as well, but it's also so that Gorka can actually farm. He can actually get resources without being relentlessly harassed by BMFX and Busio. My main question is, what does BMFX get out in trade for this?
So BMFX will be able to pretty freely farm up. I think in the 2v1, well, I guess it's a 1v1 now, Lawrence does have that opportunity to actually pressure BMFX if he wants to, but until he has the information Busio is not in the area, that isn't really an option here. But now, Will, this is what I want to highlight. Level 6 Keeper's Verdict does have that potential to do something. However, with the bodies pulled towards the Rift Herald, Taco Gaming are going to be able to secure that one. And I think this is a much better early game for Taco Gaming, not only just in terms of, I mean, actually, just basically entirely in the fact that they've managed to get a lot of early objectives here.
On the first Dragon, the first Rift Herald, they're still down 2,000 gold, and you see that it is a result of not only the gold difference and the CS advantage in bot lane, but also top lane as well. Tenacity, he had the counter pick of choice. He's been bullying Lawrence off the wave, and because both Lawrence and Gorka were pulled to opposite sides of the map, they missed out on a solid wave in terms of time rotating between both of the sides of the map. They're down in experience, they're down in gold, and so this natural lead that 100 Thieves have built up has just been through the pressure that both of these side lanes have put on their respective matchups.
For sure. And the thing now, too, is City going to actually finish that recall here? You have the Rift Herald. He will go back to base here. And I think we're seeing that lane swap happen once more. Move Gorka and Rovex back to the bottom side of the map here. But like you said, oh, wait, well, what happened?
We're just moving everywhere. Tenacity's coming mid lane now. Jimmy's now bottom side. Like 100 Thieves, they are adapting to what Taco Gaming are trying to throw at them and curve up. And they're saying, okay, well, we're just going to continue matching our strongest laners. And because Taco Gamer now reacts like, oh, guys, wait, I cannot lane into BMFX. Please get me away from him. Gorka being sent back to bot lane. But you already see the 100 Thieves. They're making their move, and they're moving down to the mid lane. They're going to catch that wave, and then they can move back to bot lane to meet Gorka and Rovix.
And again, just like the first swap we saw from Taco Gaming, more gold and XP is lost. I think Gorka didn't get very much of any of that wave that Jimmy shoved under the turret just now. Taco Gaming, I think as a team, historically in this split so far, have been a team where if they have very clear early game plans, Mark. And when things don't start to go in their favor, they do have trouble adapting and kind of bringing things back. It was very evident in their series against Immortals Progressive, and the fact that every play they went for was read and understood. And we're seeing that repeated today against 100 Thieves Academy. Even in the second game, where it seems like things are going a little better in the early game, it's still 100 Thieves playing the map better, understanding how they want to slow down everything Taco wants to do.
And we're about to see a 4-on-5 in the bottom lane here, Beatdown. Taco Gaming have had enough, but a huge chunk from BMFX's culling takes Gorka down past 50% HP. City Witty just charging to make sure that the Rift Herald can land true onto the tower, but the rest of 100 Thieves have defused the engage or any other opportunity that Taco Gaming were looking for. Yes, they get, what, 2.5 plates? But it's still 100 Thieves, and
the flash
swoops on in, catching Taco Gaming by surprise with the Humber's Divide. City Witty is
Whoa,
supposed to go
City!
forward, able to take out Busio, but is exchanged backwards by 100 Thieves Academy. They push the bottom lane off, and BMFX will stay to ensure that he can look for more plates.
I think 1-for-1's the best you could hope for there as Taco Gaming. A nice trade coming through from City to be able to finish off Busio, the wild growth on the Olaf. We talked about how impactful that could be, and that was just a taste of it here. I think the biggest thing, too, Gorka didn't die in this situation. It means he can't afford to lose any more gold and XP as he has been with the dying earlier on. The lane swaps constantly causing them to lose farm. So the fact that he's still there, able to farm things out, I think is one of the biggest things, too, for Taco. It's unfortunate he wasn't able to get the kill, but you'll see in this replay here, a lot of ults are expended, neutralizing the play, like you said, Mark. And I think it's just 100 Thieves, maybe going a little too far, trying to get the trade.
Maybe. But also, this was pretty damn sweet from Jimian. I've been really wanting to see this guy step up and make good plays, or at least have good looks on control mages in the past versus his melee champions, and that's one good look, one way to push yourselves out of your normal comfort zone. Now, for 100 Thieves, they saw Taco Gaming trying to start up this dragon, and they walked in and said, guys, remember, who's got more money in their pocket? You know, we got more stats. This dragon's ours.
Oh, it was the fattest of wallet checks, the biggest of stat checks, Mark. You just see it. All you got to do is press tab and be like, yeah, well, we can't be here anymore, so
feels bad.
Here's the leash. Yeah, it is. It feels bad, man.
Versus Taco Gaming, seeing Will trying to brute force his way into the jungle quadrant as he's just hovering Busio and BMFX, ensuring that they can get their pressure down into the bottom lane. And at this point, I want to take, again, stock of the entire map beatdown, because 100 Thieves leading in gold and leading in CS departments in almost every single lane. Even the City Witty Will matchup as well. Oh god, that's so much burst! Tidal Wave is not going to clip Rovex here. Will is making sure that the rest of Taco Gaming cannot punish onto BMFX after losing 50% of his HP. Good sidestep from the bubble, but man, that's a lot of damage coming out from both BMFX and Busio. Gorka, I imagine, has to leave. You can tell that they are desperately clinging onto this tower as Shochi is now making his rotation on down to the bottom side of the map.
A lot of cooldowns are used.
Shochi can be huge here if he can clean this one up. He has flash. Demonic Ascension has been popped. BMFX sent forward, and he is clipped by Shochi, and now he is looking to run down the rest of Will and Busio, but Will has the movement speed, still has the flash available. He's not in any danger unless this pull lands on him. Shochi looking for one more spell, but Will flashes away, and this could be Taco Gaming actually finding a great response. Blades are gone, and this turret will fall.
This is a big deal. Even with turret plates being gone, that's the first turret bonus gold, and it went to Gorka just now. Again, getting gold in this man's pocket is what you need to be doing here, especially with this composition. It was a great roam from Shochi. He is going to lose out a little bit on the midway farm, but it's part of how Taco Gaming can start to answer back here. Now you can move Gorka to the mid lane, start to threaten that turret, top lane if you want to. The point is, you can focus on what matters here, and it's getting this Aphelios to a level where he can actually match the Lucian in terms of damage.
Exactly right. Taco Gaming, they know that they're down in gold, and they cannot afford to always get the best out of both situations. They have to be comfortable with making sacrifices. For Shochi, identifying, yeah, I'm going to lose about a wave and a half of CS. Jimian's going to get, you know, more damage onto this turret, but I need to make sure that Gorka is not falling too far behind. That play selflessly allows Taco Gaming to still stay somewhat in this game while being down in gold. They're on this Rift Herald now. 100 Thieves. Oh, it's a flank from Tenacity right into the heart of the backline. Gorka has no flash available. Tenacity popped the World Ender. Looking for more damage. Darkened Blade onto the backline. Lawrence getting chunked out here. Beautiful Darkened Blade from Tenacity. And the healing keeps himself alive as Shochi tries to do everything that he can with Demonic Ascension. But Gorka gets
He's still healing.
And Tenacity is just raining chaos down on Taco Gaming. The Darkened Blade finds Rovex once again. A triple for Tenacity. And that's the ace for 100 Thieves Academy.
And that's what we needed. We needed carry tenacity, 1v9 tenacity. And what does he do, Mark? TPs to the backline where he's in a brief 4-on-1, but he manages to hold it down with the World Ender, with the Gore Drinker, to be able to give his team all the space they need to fight. And look at this. It's as if 100 Thieves Academy wanted this exactly. The tidal wave herds them over to tenacity, who even through Ignite is able to heal enough, stay alive long enough, because look at Jimmy, not under very much threat. Look at BMFX, maybe under a little threat towards the end there, and does end up falling, but for most of that fight, the space tenacity bot was invaluable.
Dude, even the flash, point blank from Lawrence's Glacial Prison, was crisp, so clean. You have to just be knowing that that is coming out to be able to dodge it at that point, and more of a prediction rather than a straight up reaction. Especially with all the champion models stacked on top of each other, it's so hard to see that coming, but Tenacity knew what was going to happen, read that play well, and now 100 Thieves Academy find themselves 5,000 gold up at 17 minutes.
And what was it all for, Mark? It was that Rift Herald. You're seeing that Will just finished taking down and picking up. Something now that you not only lost is in the hands of your opponents. And that means that easily a play to be able to drop that bot. Top, you have a lot of options here as 100 Thieves Academy to just firmly continue to assert your control over the game, knocking down structures, and keeping this gold lead nice and thick in their favor, because you can see it really reflect in the itemization, especially between the carries here. BMFX pretty close to a full second item completion, while Gorka, he's still working on tier 2 boots.
Taco Gaming now find themselves very much in a desperate situation, because you have Jimian pushing up, taking out a tower on the top side of the map.
Oh, I love
100
it.
Thieves saying, we don't care about the dragon, take it. All you want. You're still 2 dragons away from Soul. We have a Rift Herald that is ready to make noise in your base. It's going to get one more charge. Maybe not take out the inhibitor turret completely, but Lawrence and Shoji ready to throw everything down on the line here, looking for a flank, but Will bodies it beautifully, preventing BMFX and Will getting jumped on here.
Oh, look who's
and
here.
Tenacity is here once again, swooping in like the Dark Knight, and Tenacity is able to push Lawrence away out of the fight. They've already taken out Shochi. Busio gets isolated by Gorka on the left side. Nice kill up for Taco Gaming. A double finds in the backline, and BMFX is forced to flee from City Witty. Meanwhile, Tenacity finally cleans up Lawrence, smokes some brisket off of Bristol's meat, and Taco Gaming now find themselves in a 2v3. Tenacity rejoins the fray once again, and Jimian, if he can swing on in, has flash, no divide available, but he has the range, and Tenacity, if he has the cooldowns, he can find Rovex on the next Darkened Blade cast here. He clips him, and he should be going down.
Oh, maybe
Hold up.
This is crazy. He might be able to walk away.
This is the longest run, but Rovex delaying the inevitable. Tenacity takes him out. 6,000 gold. No, actually 8,000 gold. Excuse me. Sorry. Sometimes my math, it's cringe to be down. I'm not going to lie.
You know what, Mark? We love you anyway. But it's as you say, a ginormous gold lead in favor of 100 Thieves Academy, looking towards 8,000 gold.
Oh.
It doesn't get any scarier than this, Mark. Objective bounties are up. You saw the mid tier 3 turret, that inhibitor turret, is just about gone. A stiff breeze is all it would take to take it out of the picture here.
You can knock it down with like a, what is that, toothpick at this point.
Yeah, actually, dude, I could make a flicking motion and not actually touch the tower, and it would still go down.
Just the air pushing off of your flick, the pressure itself would just take it out.
Yeah, that's the state that I think Taco Gaming in, not just their turret, but overall, they're in a lot of trouble right now, Mark. I'm not gonna lie to you. They went for that dragon, knowing likely that it was very risky. But part of the idea too is that okay, they're gonna drop this herald and get value anyway. The real problem is that can we play towards the Dragon's Soul and buy that time?
City Witty is forced to pop the Ragnarok because he was getting lowered by 100 Thieves' assault here. Taco Gaming forced to retreat. The main front lines are now having to go back to the fountain just to heal on up. The pity prizes are in full effect for Taco Gaming. Objective bounties are up for the grabbing. The question is, can Taco Gaming even put themselves in a position where they're able to find them?
I mean, it's possible. They could do it.
See, the
Mark.
hesitancy in your voice tells me otherwise, Beatdown.
Whether or not they will, it's a different story here, but it's possible. The big
You would
play.
make a good
I
lawyer,
think,
Beatdown. You're very
Thank you.
particular
You know-
on words.
I almost became one. It was a thought.
Did you
but,
really?
I decided. I thought about it because I did a degree in law, and I realized, you know what? Law school sounds terrible. I don't want
Holy.
that.
Beatdown Boulevard. You could have like opened your own law
Practice?
firm. Yeah,
I know. Could have been. I don't know. I was trying to make a Suits reference, but it wasn't gonna work.
And I successfully beat down another case. But for 100 Thieves Academy, they are now on the doorsteps of being able to advance further into the lower bracket. A sizable 8,000 gold lead separates them from Taco Gaming being able to keep up with them. Baron buff is the next main objective on their playbook. And for them, setting up vision control is how they can get started.
Much like the last game, we're seeing that choke out of Vision once more playthrough for 100 Thieves Academy here. Taco Gaming have more beefier members than they did with their previous draft, so feel a little more confident, even in this deficit, to walk up, get a little bit of vision here and there, not a lot, but something, and now...
Maybe a pick on the tenacity, but he just merely flashes away, and City Witty was trying to manhandle 1v3 by himself, but the Keeper's Verdict sending Lawrence all the way back means that there's no one there to protect Gorka from getting slammed into the wall by Will, and the rest of the 100 Thieves Academy reinforcements swoop on in once again. 100 Thieves Academy, having swiftly dealt with 4 members from Taco Gaming, now have the minions to just pour on into the base. They're not waiting for the Baron. They're not waiting for any other objectives. They could look to just end the series right now.
You can see it. They're walking up to the Nexus turrets. Mark, we needed more from 100 Thieves Academy. We needed more from Academy's second seed. And finally, they show it to us with their backs against the wall. This could be the start of that lower bracket run, and it starts over the ashes of Taco Gaming.
One potential last stand from Taco Gaming, but it is 100 Thieves Academy that said they will knock them out. Taco Gaming are sent out of the bracket while 100 Thieves Academy move on in the tournament.
And it is sad to say goodbye to Taco Gaming, but, props to them for making it thus far. And again, 100 Thieves, that's more like it. Am I right, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, for 100 Thieves fans are more than anything, I think you said relieved first time in game 1. This time they're elated because they are not only seeing one time of 100 Thieves making great use of their mid-game communication and decision-making, but also they are doing it again, which means the consistency is actually falling through into place for this squad. Now, the big question about this team is, can they continue this momentum forward? Because it is going to be the long bracket run. But for any fans of Proving Grounds, they will know that while the squad was a lot different in spring and they started off a lot lower in the standings, they also made a similar lower bracket run all the way to the finals.
That's true, and even though they didn't manage to come out on top at the end there in spring, I mean, the fact is, we could very well see a similar run start to come through here again. We'll get like you said, 100 Thieves will have their backs against the wall throughout the rest of the tournament, but if they keep playing like this, they have a good shot about going to the finals yet again.
Well, for 100 Thieves Academy, they move on to the Proving Grounds bracket. We bid adieu to Taco Gaming and thank them for their time in the tournament, but for 100 Thieves Academy, this is not the last time we're seeing them, at least for the broadcast today, because Sierra will be catching up with one of their players on the back end of this break.
Hello and welcome to our Verizon post-game interview. We're going to be talking to BMFX after that 2-0 win. First off, congratulations. It's nice to see that these back in form, especially considering that you've fallen into this lower bracket. That was a surprise for all of us. Tell us about how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure AGT was an opponent we kind of underestimated, and drafting against them is just really, really hard with their players, especially Keel. So yeah, I mean, they're definitely a really scary team to play against. I think a rematch is possible in the lower bracket. So I'm looking forward to that. I think we'll be a much better team at that time, and we'll shit on them.
And I mean, not underestimating them the second time around, that's for sure, especially since they are making this upper bracket run now. They took down Immortals. They're going up against Cloud9 next. Tell me how you're feeling about this team in general, this amateur team making this run.
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive. I don't think Immortals is the strongest team, so I wasn't really. I was kind of actually expecting AGT to win. I don't think they'll beat Cloud9. I'd be really surprised if they do, but if they do, just props to them. Like, they came in and destroyed like, some academy teams, so just, yeah, good to see.
And then now that 100 Thieves have found themselves in this lower bracket, making your way through, based on how you're talking, it sounds like you just have the most confidence that the team should be able to go on through the bracket and make it to it up to finals.
Yeah, I mean, I think this week we've been putting in most practice, and we've been putting just a lot of emphasis on macro and just becoming better as a team throughout the team play. And I think we're improving really fast. I just think we're going to look like really strong going into the future weeks.
All right. I'm glad to hear. So up against Evil Geniuses next. I know that you had some thoughts on other teams. How are you feeling about going up against EG in particular?
Yeah, going against CG is really scary, especially as a bot laner, because of Tomio really plays for bot a lot usually. And just leaves 30 on an island. But I think that we'll have a better game plan coming into facing them, and I think that we are better players and better as a team. So yeah, I think it'll be a good series, but we'll definitely win.
I look forward to it for sure. Before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to say? Any shout outs that you have?
Uh, just shout out my teammates. They're beasts. So yeah, that's it. Shout out my family, my friends. Yeah,
Sounds great. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking with you. Congratulations once again. Have a good rest of your night, okay?
thank you. You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right.